So for our final gas law, we're going to look at the pressure law. This one isn't named after anyone, it's just called the pressure law, which makes it easy to remember. So here we keep the volume constant and allow pressure and temperature to vary. This one's much easier to understand because we just have constant mass inside a rigid container which can't expand, and all we do is we just change its temperature and then measure its pressure. So this is fixed, this volume can't expand. So our V is fixed, and then all we do is we can just heat it up slightly and see what that does to its pressure. And that will tell us the relationship between T and P. So we do that and we find the pressure law. And that's that P over T is now constant. So again, it's very similar to our example from before, where we had that V over T was constant in terms of what it actually looks like. So we found that Charles's law was that V over T was constant, and we see that we get this straight line of V against T. Well, in this case, for the pressure law, we get a straight line of P against T. So for the pressure law, we can just replace V with P, and then we get exactly the same kind of graph, and we just find that our constant will increase the slope of this graph as before, because it's still linear in T. So there's not much more to say about this one, except in this case, well, what is the work that can be done on the surroundings by this gas? Remember how we did it before here? We thought about how the work done was actually P times your change in volume. And so we see here that there can't be any work done on the surroundings because you can't expand V. So delta V is always 0. So work done, which is equal to P delta V, is always 0. So you can't do any work done by gas on surroundings, that is. It always is 0. So the only way to transfer energy to this thing is by heat. You've got to heat it up, which is what we're doing. But you can't make it do work in any way because you can't change its container. Its container is completely rigid, which is what we basically see here. Gas can't do any work on the surroundings, so it can't change its volume, so the only energy it transfers through heating, either through it transferring heat to its surroundings or by it having heat transferred to it by its surroundings. But the pressure is free to vary, so we can just increasing the temperature, increasing the pressure inside, whereas with Charles's law, remember, whenever we increased the pressure, whenever we increased the temperature, we found that the pressure would always the container would always expand such that the pressure is balanced.
Hey guys, to continue watching this video and unlock hundreds of other super concise and exam board specific A-level physics videos, just click the Snap Revise smiley face. Join me today, and together let's make A-level physics a walk in the park.